Well, the college finally came across with some cha-ching for some extra work I did, and it's going to be my birthday pretty soon. So I decided it's time for me to get a MacBook Air. Yes, baby. So the nerd is going to configure and buy a MacBook Air. If I come down here and look at it, the base MacBook Air comes with the M1 chip, 8-core CPU, 7-core GPU, or M1 chip, 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU, a slight upgrade. The base model, the lowest cost model, comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 256 gigabyte solid state drive, and the total cost is $999. The 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU, however, comes with a 512 gigabyte solid state drive and is $1,249, which looks like it's a lot more expensive when you're just adding one GPU core, but what you're actually doing is paying for the larger SSD size. So let's actually compare apples to apples, and then since I'm an educator, I'm going to look at the prices as an educator. So I can compare apples to apples, so to speak. Let's come down to the base MacBook Air and change it to have a 512 gigabyte hard drive. So now we're up to $1,199 versus the MacBook Air with the 8-core GPU already comes with the 512 gigabyte solid state drive, and it's $1,249. So we're really only looking at a difference of $50. Now, since I'm an educator, I want to switch over to the education store that is basically $100 off these prices. All right, I've got all my windows recombobulated so I can compare the educational price of the base MacBook Air, except I've upgraded it to the 512 SSD so I can compare it to the 8-core GPU version of the MacBook Air. And you can see they both have 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 512 gigabyte solid state storage. And the price, once again, is minimally different. So with the educational pricing, I'm about $100 cheaper. But what I am interested in is going ahead and spending that extra $50 to $75 to get the 8-core processor, because that's a minimal additional expense, and bumping it up to a 1 terabyte solid state drive and a 16 gigabyte of RAM as opposed to 8 gigabytes of RAM. And if I just do that side by side, change these both to 16 gigs, 1 terabyte of storage. Now, once again, you can see it's about $60 or $70 difference to get the two units. So for the configuration I want, which is 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte solid state drive, it's going to be educational, $1,509, and with just the 7 GPU core, it's $1,439. So $70 more is not a huge increase in prices to add that extra GPU core. It is pretty expensive to go from 512 gigabytes with Apple, $180 to 1 terabyte, and another $180 to go from 8 gigabytes of RAM to 16 gigabytes of RAM. But if I'm going to get this machine, I'm going to go ahead and get it with 16 gigs of RAM and a nice roomy 1 terabyte solid state drive. Let me bring the same 8-core configuration up with 16 gigs of RAM and the 1 terabyte solid state drive, but non-educational. All right, I've got the educational pricing for the configuration I want. On the right, the 8-core GPU 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a 1 terabyte solid state drive on the right, and the price is $1,509. The non-educational price is $1,649. So a 10% discount for educators. So let's concentrate on looking at the one I'm going to be buying, which is educational, 16 gigs, 1 terabyte SSD, 8 core GPU. So let's see what else it's trying to sell me. It's trying to sell me AppleCare. I know I can get this after the fact. A USB-C to USB adapter. Sure, we'll get one of those. A USB-C to lightning cable adapter for $19. Sure, we'll get one of those. I'm going to hold off getting the Magic Mouse. I'm going to hold off getting the USB-C digital adapter for HDMI, etc., etc. And I think I am good on everything else. As I scroll down through here, no, I don't need a monitor. I do not need a $700 monitor, and I do not need a $1,300 monitor. Or, while I'm at it, I do not need a $180 leather sleeve for my MacBook Air. Let me keep going down here and see if I can get through all these choices and I can review my bag and check out. So here is my bag, show product details. I am going to be getting the silver 13-inch MacBook Air, 16 gigabyte unified memory, 1 terabyte solid state drive. I'm going to be throwing in a couple cables. And I think I'm ready to check out. None of these crazy monthly payments. I've been saving up for this, so I'm going to go straight to checkout. And yes, one more check. I'd like it delivered. If I view the details, I am indeed getting the 16 gig 1 terabyte solid state drive, and it will be delivered between March 3rd and March 10th, which will be just in time for the nerd's birthday. Nice birthday present if I do say so myself. Here we go. Fire in the hole. And let's try that again, but this time let's check the terms and conditions. Fire in the hole. And there you have it. The first Mac product I have ever ordered is ordered and will be arriving in early March. Can't wait.